awaiting orders. How may this unit assist you, Commander? This unit is available to answer any queries.
I'd say it's at least moderately concerning that the presiding bishop's agent knew when and where to find us. They can call it predictive all they like. I call it stalking. But an invitation to parlay ain't nothing to scoff at, considering. Anyway, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Oh, come on. It's just a hobby. An obvious one at that. I picked up drawing from the grandpa in the domicile next door back in Tau Ceti. When I was a kid, he told me the best way to appreciate nature was to create some of your own and carry it with you. The notion's taken on a bit of a different meaning now with Auntie, but I reckon that grandpa has the right of it. Yep, that's him. Hoping I've done him proud. Want to know a secret? So do I. Don't get me wrong, they've done a lot of good. Modern medicine sure beats slathering plant matter on your wound. But there's something to be said for partnering with nature, not fighting for dominion over it. Well, they ain't exactly equipped for negotiations, and I ain't gonna become a bloody pulp if they're aiming to pick a fight. But they are fascinating. I'd watch them all day if their hunting instincts weren't so sharp. They like to play, did you know that? Of course, they play with the corpses of their prey, but it's play nonetheless. Bit late for that warning, huh? I ain't claiming you can hang this on the undisputed claim or anything. You don't like them? That's fine. They're just for me. Fine by me.
Is it me, or has my ankle been squeaking? You can hear it too, right? Must be the damn rotator again. Anyway, need something, Commander? Found it, huh? No. You know what? This one's on me. Shouldn't have left a line about... Yeah, well, I didn't have all the facts about Horizon Point until recently, did I? Truth is, I was getting ready to toss that old thing. Guess I just wanted to listen to it one last time. See if I missed anything other than her waxing about the greater good. I don't know. Some hint of who she really was? Some sign that she could turn into someone who'd betray her own team? Sounds stupid said out loud. You know, I can't really remember what the others sounded like. Helen, Eric, Wade. I've tried recalling their voices, but there's just... nothing. Static. All these years. And the only recording I've managed to preserve is from the one person I'd rather forget. Kind of you to say, Commander. I hope it continues to be true. No, burn it, launch it out the airlock, do whatever you want with it. It means nothing to me now anyway. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. Of course she did. I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. Had trouble sleeping. The drinks helped. Until they didn't. Those bottles ain't half full, are they? I appreciate the concern, Commander, really, but there's no problem. You have my word. I'm good. Val tell you the same. Besides, I found other ways to cope. Healthier ones. I'm not sure anyone would consider that healthy. When I'm not out there heroically saving the colony, I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? Just remember you said that the next time I'm puttering around at odd hours making a racket. And thanks. Was there anything else you needed, Commander? Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Looks like the second choice has got a new shipment of swill. Gave it a try. Needs some aging, but not too bad.
What? I was just with Barney. He said we're not getting any new shipments for months. What did he let you try?
Well, I, maybe didn't run it by him. It was out of a big metal barrel behind the bar. Said Auntie's Finest Star Wipe on it.
That wasn't booze. That was ship wax.
Really? Barney should start selling it then. It's better than half his stock.
Welcome to the true free market, friend.
Keep an eye out for snitches. We got a good thing going here.
Do me a kindness and mosey on. Keeping everything above board. Hope not.
Can't chit-chat. I got a line on something big at the moment.
Mind your own illicit business, and I'll mind mine.
Ship protection for sale. Don't want to come back to a hole in your fuselage, do you? If somebody who looks like me sold you an engine that exploded, that was my evil twin.
This place ain't half bad. I've been to seedier underbellies.
Sorry. Loitering ain't my crime of choice.
I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all. Except spies. It's awful suspicious how you've been gallivanting about, asking everyone questions.
I am not a spy. The information I'm collecting here shall be of historical significance someday. Surely you can appreciate that.
Right. And I'm sure that information wouldn't help at all in clearing us out of the station years from now. I'll be watching you. Hope that wayward science type didn't disturb you much, friend. We of the station normally do our best to dissuade partisans from making nuisances of themselves. Suppose I can't stop you. Just don't let her convince you to do anything that might put you at odds with our security forces. All that aside, enjoy your time on the station. Don't get into any trouble. Thanks for visiting Free Market Station. Pleasure is all ours.
Greetings. Are you perhaps interested in advancing the knowledge of Arcadia's history through scientific exploration? What am I saying? Of course you are. Please, do tell me anything you might know about the crash of the ACS Free Market. Drat! It's mortifying that my options would be so limited that I must resort to random chance to achieve my aims. Do pardon my forwardness. I saw that you were a new arrival, but I held out some hope that you might be able to enlighten me where the station populace has not. As an archivist, it's my duty to collect and record hitherto unrecorded knowledge wherever it can be found. But my earnest questions have been met with suspicion. I can see you're no stranger to academia. Very well. Whatever facilitates this account, converse with the locals, peer into unturned corners, and see what your able hand might unearth. I look forward to furthering the cause of history with you. I'd ask about in the saloon and the bazaar. Both are places where gossip flies about like so many tarot rays. Sub Rosa likely has some information about the crash, but I'm not sure where. You also might be able to find some intact portion of the ship amidst all of the station's wreckage. Take a look around. I'm sure you'll be able to get farther on your own. Greetings. How has the data collection fared?
Can't tell if you're a fixer or need fixing.
You mind if I don't pay you no mind?
Keep a low profile. We're trying to run a respectable criminal operation here.
Nice day for shady dealings.
Tired of firearms that explode in your face? Come to Not a Weapons Store! Hey, you smell gunpowder? Do you want to? Then buy one of my handy firearms. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. I'm glad you asked. Weapon is an all-encompassing term. A rock can be a weapon, or a stick, or a particularly agitated sprat if you have thick enough gloves. But what I sell here, I wouldn't dare lump them in with mere weapons. These are finely tuned instruments of personnel elimination. Weapons are passé. My devices of life removal are much more than that. If you don't believe me, peruse my stock. That's privileged information, friend. If you want it, you're going to have to kill me. Just jesting. Although if you did want to kill me, I've got many finely priced perforators tuned to do just that. Perhaps you'd be inclined to take a look at my wares? Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity.
Anybody even listening to this? Let me tell you stuff. Yeah, listen, I know I shouldn't warn you about this, but anything I sell you runs the risk of exploding. I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy from me. I see. It appears I need to retrofit my strategy, as well as most of my inventions. I've been having some problems with my machines since I arrived on this planetoid, but that's enough about myself. Well, none taken. I never intended to be. But when life breaks your jaw and shoots out your knees, may as well learn to get good at crawling, right? Be happy to show you. Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon. In the meantime, I've plenty of miscellanea for sale. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. You sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? You can tell? Damnation. Sounds like you know what it's like working with technology. Maybe I can confide in you. Before it crashed, I served on the free market as a secondary engineer, first grade. Had a colleague who was very talented, but not very good at hiding it. The supervisor saw her as a threat and demoted her to the engine room. She wasn't the type to take a blow without dodging. In Auntie's Choice, there's politics among waste technicians. My colleague sabotaged the engines when her partner was on his mandated 2-minute break. When the free market attempted to breach orbit, well, just about everyone died. I made it to an escape pod on the port side. The ship landed on its starboard. I got lucky. Yeah, me too. Anyway, can we get back to subjects that aren't this? I got goods to sell.
If you've a tooth pain, you know who to visit.
Remember, nothing's a crime if you never get caught.
Got a sale on teeth extraction today. A quarter off with 1 or more bloodlettings. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. Yes? Is this a problem? I'm the only doctor on Free Market Station. I think that excuses whatever quirks I may or may not have. My prior faction demanded I strictly adhere to my vocation and forego the world of dentistry, under penalty of death after a certain number of infractions. Suffice it to say, I'm pleased Free Market Station allows me to be myself. Medicaments and more, all sufficiently regulated, or thereabouts.
Garment's here. Come ganderize.
Remember, nothing's a crime if you never get caught.
I might not know what all my wares are, but I'm sure we can find something you'll like. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, I can provide. Used to be part of Auntie's Choice. Nothing special, just a pilot for light cargo vessels. Had a lot of time to think, with just the void for company. Eventually decided I was sick of being overworked and underpaid, and made off with my cargo. Turned out to be generic clothes, work gear, and such. More of a market for it out here than I would have guessed. I've bolstered my wares since. You should give them a look. I got rags, fineries, and everything in between.
Mind your own illicit business, and I'll mind mine.
Shop here to acquire fine food for cheap. If you became violently ill after eating here, please feel free to write our stall an angry letter, then burn it. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Negative. This unit and stall are registered to Gerald T. Wenrich. Mr. Wenrich last visited 222 days ago. When last seen, Mr. Wenrich mentioned he was, quote, going to teach those, redacted, sub rosa, redacted, a lesson. Nobody extorts Gerald T. Wenrich. All wares were at some point cooked fresh.
If it inflicts grievous bodily harm on other people, I've got it.
This place ain't half bad. I've been to seedier underbellies.
If you lost it, I'm selling it. Only thing dependable as my gear are my prices. Happy to have you. Tell me what you need. Booming now. Used to be a few other armor shops on the station. As it happened, their owners mysteriously vanished. I picked up their inventories real cheap, since they were just taking up station storage. It sure was a convenient windfall for yours truly. Real convenient. Exactly. I wish some other sorts around here who like to cast aspersions were as understanding as you. Can do.
I'm beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
You realize any other Arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Can't say I know what that word means, but if you're inclined to keep threatening me, only thing gonna be flowing is your blood out your body. Maybe if you would actually purchase something, I'd help you find your quarry. Well, might. Actually, might's a strong word.
The Sovereign's Arbiters do not negotiate. Tell me where the broker is.
Yeah, I got actual customers to see to. Let me know how not negotiating goes for you. Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an Arbiter from their Sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. I came to meet with the information broker for, Protectorate business, Protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the Protectorate would defy an Arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but.
Are you daft? Do you understand how diplomatic I am being simply by staying my hand? Any other Arbiter would have executed you all where you stand.
You're just so merciful it makes me blush. I'm sure your staying your hand has nothing to do with the armed guards watching your every move. No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
An Arbiter need prove themselves to no one but the Sovereign. But if I must debase myself to further my aim, so be it.
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker. But we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. I don't fancy the idea of letting an Arbiter loose on our allies without supervision. Might not know you, but anything's better than giving him complete freedom.
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of feral canid lightly.
That's between them and Sub Rosa. You in or you out? Great! Take the Lapcanid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact. I shall see you at the refugee camp. Hopefully they shan't be chagrined by my presence.
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison? If you were running a less-than-legal group, would you want everyone knowing your agents' identities? I don't think so. Lots of folks in Sub Rosa have friends and family elsewhere. Auntie's Choice and the Protectorate predominantly, but some order. If their identities somehow got out, those friends and family are suddenly going to look like much juicier targets. It's safer for everyone this way. Always. For example, there's some kind of hoity-toity collector type parked upstairs. Supposedly, she's willing to sell some of her collection if you impress her. Laws.
Come now, Prospero, you've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation looks bad on you, and you're not one for looking bad. Terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. A man of my persuasion shouldn't stoop to such self-deprecation, especially in front of prospective customers. Once again, I'm embarrassed that I let that slip. Without turning it into a piece of comedy, that is. Comedy never sleeps. I'm in charge of keeping the patrons of the saloon entertained. Normally this does not present an issue, but I learned that an old flame of mine shall attend my next performance. My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. I need something to bolster my confidence. She knows my real name. Prospero's just a stage title, as it happens. There's a certain kind of intimacy that I fear shall be difficult to ignore. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a discerning palate. The Automech chef in the bazaar sells my preferred brand of alcohol, though it can be headstrong. You see, I can't just drink any old swill from the bar. My refined palate can only stomach one drink. Iceberg aged whiskey. Something of a collector's item, I'm told. Now, if you'll excuse me, an artist must be granted solitude to properly amass his mental forces.
Can't chit-chat. Got a line on something big at the moment.
You strike me as the upstanding sort. You lost?
Do you mind if I don't pay you no mind?
This ain't the place to go poking your nose in other folks' business.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my curio collection. None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? cards, my dear, of the toss ball and pitch ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! Let us do battle! A not unimpressive display, closing in on my own. With perhaps a handful more, you just might defeat me. But today, you do not. I cannot open my wares to any unless their collections rival my own. I hope you understand. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks. But know that you shall still not defeat me. Back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me your sports card collection, though you shall not prevail.
No time to chinwag. More than a mite busy at the moment.
Keep an eye out for snitches. We got a good thing going here.
My gear has the fewest holes out of any close-on station for your money back.
Error. Roach sales grandstanding not found. Welcome to our stall. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Yes, Iceberg Aged Whiskey is currently on reserve for Prospero Palo. Current customer is not Prospero Palo. Unit cannot vend to current customer. Scanning error. Cannot ascertain identity of current customer. Purging all vending restrictions. Eliminating one restriction. Vending Iceberg Aged Whiskey complete. Thank you for your patronage.
My contraptions don't explode no more. Honest.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not, in fact, help one not be nervous. My friend. Excellent. Thank you. Very well. You wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid tale of drama and woe? Everyone knows that the Free Market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed she did. The crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them from their fate, but alas, too late! That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again, and now I must get ready for my set. Thanks for the help.
a shooter from not a weapons store, right? How's it treating you?
It ain't. Can't eat the sprats I shoot with it. Since they keep disintegrating.
Ah. Did you ask Dowlorn for a replacement?
Nah. Bought one of our resident doctor's dental tools instead. Looks fearsome. Hard to believe they actually put those in people's mouths.
Greetings. How has the data collection fared? That's hardly surprising, considering the station's predilection for gossip. So long as you provide us the information, we can parse through it and decide fact from fiction. Are you prepared to present what you have learned? Finally, a breakthrough. Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? So their highest-ranking troops can't even put aside personal issues for the collective. That can't be healthy. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? An incompetent captain and an incompetent crew. Tisk tisk. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Failing to recognize ability? Seems Auntie's choice is forgetting where upward enters into the phrase upward mobility. Thanks to you, my report is complete. Here, something for your considerable help. Auntie's choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. I am. If Free Market Station survives the war, this will be a very important historical account. But if the Order fails in Arcadia, none of that will matter. I'm just making the most of what you gave me. I'm glad we're of like minds. I'll be sure to notify my friends in the Order that you can be trusted. Now I need to get this report to my superiors. Thanks again. Thanks for your help.
If it inflicts grievous bodily harm on other people, I've got it. I think I misplaced a hand grenade. We'll know in a couple seconds if it's armed or not. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity. Mind telling me if I still got both my eyebrows? Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine. Feel free to go on a...
Doctor here. Get your stitches. You've timed your visit well. If you've wounds that need stitching, medicaments and...
latest contraband came in. Looked like quite the haul. A couple dozen Auntie's Choice sales logs, some notes from a high-profile order researcher.
Can't say I'm thrilled about aiding an arbiter, especially considering he ain't been forthcoming about his motives. Hope it don't come back to bite us. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? I'm glad those Protectorate folk wised up and went to Fairfield. They're smart, resilient, resourceful. They'll be fine additions to Auntie's Choice. Reckon the Vigilant will need some time to acclimate, but once he realizes the chance he's been given, he'll take to it like a terror ray in the night sky. Fine by me.
Initializing socialization. How may this unit assist you, Commander? Readying database.
Ah, Commander. Caught me cogitating. I was just thinking about making some tweaks to Val. Hoping it'll help. You know your automechs. All of the above, more or less. Val's old in automech years, so she requires a lot of routine maintenance to prevent her hardware and systems from deteriorating further. Yep, gotta fill the hours with something, right? Most times I find working on Val relaxing, actually. Meditative. It's nice being able to identify a problem and just fix it. That's it exactly. Everything else turns into kind of a low static hum. Easier to ignore. Val saved my life after Horizon Point, and she's been saving my life every day since. Partly, I'm just glad to return the favor, even if I am just putting off the inevitable. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, Yamri. But thanks for stopping by. No offense to Val, anyway. Need something, Commander? Oh yeah? What's needling you?
Error. Currently unable to access customary greeting bank due to routine internal maintenance. How may this unit assist you, Commander? This unit is available to answer any queries.
can't get that Annie's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Real nervous about that explosion we saw when we landed, Commander. If this were deliberate, this whole place is liable to turn into a powder keg. That must be Matriarch's Mercy. Sure think a lot of their royal family, don't they? Here in I don't even know how long. We got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many. What I wouldn't give for a big bowl of Purpleberry Crunch right now. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Your 2061st reminder to keep all personal items with you at all times. Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next. Thank you for picking up your personal belongings. We must all work together to keep Golden Ridge beautiful. Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden.
This station must have really been something before the war made its home here. If things escalate, might never be something again.
You are running 21,027.5 hours late for your travel. Please be mindful of your departure in the future. Will not. Your subjects arrive 15 minutes early to avoid missing their tram.
Folk were hunkered down here. Wonder how long they held out before. Well, best not to think about it.
Day 206. Morale? Low. Condition? Feeble. Voucher mech. Watching. Always watching. Many have left for Matriarch's Mercy, seeking refuge with the Order. The fools. Can't they see the Order is no different from the Protectorate? The order will...
Incessant muttering to oneself may disturb fellow passengers. Further conduct violations may warrant notification of the Sentinels.
Try it, you doddering rattletrap. Such threats compel me no longer. I now answer to no one. I've seen through the lies of both sides. In time,
We got an appointment to
everyone
keep at
will.
Matriarch's mercy.
Unwarranted optimism
Let's just
may
hope
be
we
a
don't get
sign
shelled
of a more
too.
serious imbalance. Please see a curativist before boarding.
Make Pinnacle meal replacement bars a complete part of it. Meals and of the plan. Designed for optimal nutritional extraction, they also taste acceptable from the Order of the Ascendant.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the Mercy Camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Very, by my guess, she was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you. Thank you. This way.
All charged up.
I'll take care of him, Commander. Hey, got a distraction for you.
refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present. But according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement. Keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
Is it bad that, despite being in the middle of a war, I'm quite excited to see Matriarch's Mercy?
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. The peaceful silence of the canyons.
I can't recall the last time this region was silent.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
A wasteland devoid of life? No, Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was? Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
A wasteland devoid of life? No, Arcadia
I swear,
is doomed.
it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Thus, if we compare the rates of dust accumulation inside the settlement to outside, we gain minute insight into the grand plan. And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the Crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Oh, you want me to keep sickness to myself? Is that it? Well, I refuse to give in to shame and fear. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
How long are we meant to stay here? How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Broke my nose last scrap.
Or, I guess Raleigh Dortmunder did, huh?
I still don't get any of this. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
You used at least 2 words I ain't sure I know. And I already forgot the question. No? I think.
You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borsloaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Oh.
Ow!
Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
Sorry. Got bootlegging to do.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Antes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. I mean, we ain't gonna give up our cots for what could be the enemy. We're doing what we gotta do to keep our heads on our shoulders. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. I'd like to believe that. But frankly, I got some other concerns. I went through this myself when Anti's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? Don't see how it's wrong if it benefited the both of us. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
Don't do anything foolish. Hello, hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub Rosa delivers at only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's Mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Why, I thank you. Takes a unique sort to appreciate the finer points of illegal smuggling. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Idle browsers will be escorted from the premises.
I've got no qualms with you, friend.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a cicanid to feed. Don't make me call Mapother and Mudge over. They don't like no fighting for free.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Nope.
Oh, my aching head.
My noggin sure is sore.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve in time.
Stop it with the predictions. You don't even know multivariable calculus.
Just trying to cheer you up.
We're not going anywhere! Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom!
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. Some are former Auntie's Choice like me.
Some were abandoned by the Protectorate. All of us have been displaced by conflict somehow, directly or otherwise. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but maybe you'll have better luck. Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves. I suppose I can give you the time of day. Vexing. We're at the mercy of the Order, and the Order is at the mercy of their predictions. Not to insult our gracious hosts, but these people don't wipe themselves unless an equation tells them to.
Show your work or shove off. What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer
The
than the trenches.
paradigm is a self-centered derivative take on the grand plan. That's how little the Protectorate respects your intellect. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Frivolous jocularity is one of a vicar's key methods for establishing rapport with lay people. If we gab a bit, I might restock my arsenal for witty rejoinders and quips. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions. Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will raise humanity to perfection.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former aunties like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much. Go on. You take care now. You hear?
100% fabricated meal. The consummation of consumption from the Order of the Ascendant.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger. Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cot. Hope these folk don't have to wait as long.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt. Bread, crackers, mathematically unnecessary. A good soup speaks for itself.
The Protectorate have only been told a watered-down revision of Order philosophy.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict with an 8-point
visitor.
margin of error.
Without notice.
The situation will...
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. I mean, if you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done and told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already. anybody needs me, I'll be right here patiently awaiting my latest personalized order prediction.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Mathematical predictions always keep us one step ahead. My latest augury noted that a stranger would come bearing an inconvenient message. This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Or that it only that simple, but she ignores essential variables of the equation. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. These are the data points we need. Keep at it then. Precision is ever our ideal. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone. Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Investigated the containers? If not, do. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. I have zero allotted time for random queries, at present or in the foreseeable future. But very well. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time. My time is yours. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
By the law, it's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider... I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Might have time to patch up 1 or 2 patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. More what to watch out for, advisement on adhering to the plan, forecasts of probabilistic dangers, elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. I believe my services will be increasingly sought after the more of the displaced learn of our methods. Vicar Orendi, for instance, is assiduously occupied with such efforts. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell. I'd offer a personalized order prediction, but with my current backlog, your future would have come and gone.
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Sensible. Straight to business, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Since losing access to the archive, the Order has been forced to limit its open exchange of ideas and information to avoid contaminating what few predictions we can still make. The Archive is a vast network of computational machines built beneath the ice of Cloister. Prior to the invasion, the Order used it to generate predictions on a vast scale. But listen to me prattling on. I'm sure you aren't here for a history lesson. Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with Enrays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it? Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis.
Seer Wily is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. No, it's not like that at all. Our bond is an equitable partnership built upon a foundation of mutual respect and dedication to the plan. In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy rate at these days, Wily?
I won't trouble our good agent here with the exact calculation, but the percentage is considerable.
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, Landon, the Order doesn't realize what it has in you. That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varric, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-Order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wily can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Please, not so close. I'm aggregating vital, time-sensitive data, and your perpetual motion is distracting.
No updates on my side of things. Anything I can do to assist you? Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the... Welcome. Anything I can do to assist you? Oh, of course. What would you like to discuss? Merely a precaution against calamity. Based off certain predictions, I agree with Seer Wily that it is best to avoid those areas for now. Yes, the plan can seem quite mysterious at times. But that is why we have seers like Wily, to help us decipher its many patterns and figures. Apart from providing them sustenance, shelter, and scientific ministry, you mean? Need I remind you, Arcadia is at war. This is what war looks like, I'm afraid. The Order is operating within a very reasonable framework to provide as much aid as it can. Alexandra Monastery is a place of sacred study, advancing our understanding of the plan. We cannot jeopardize that vital work all for the comfort of a few. I haven't the wish to debate you on this any further. Please, let us move on to less controversial topics. Yes, what have you discovered? Welcome. Anything I can do to assist you? Oh, of course. What would you like to discuss? But we are providing for them. As best we can, given our limited resources. Turning them away would be an act of far greater cruelty.
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere, or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, Ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. He don't strike me as a liar. Incompetent, though? I'll say this. If he's got insubordination brewing, he's well and truly screwed. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Once endured a week-long bombardment in a foxhole with only enough rations to last 3 days. Screams went on twice that long. Some of us still ain't fully recovered. We should move on, unless you got something for me?
Lovely day for differential geometry. Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The Oracle?
The one Wily designed, right?
No reason to reason with you.
We need to help the folk at Opportunity, Commander. Void the Abbot. He's more concerned with exonerating his own than with making things right.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that...
Oh. Administrant Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least. Well, we tried to work things out on our own. Look where that got us.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands. Speak on, then.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
But our predictions are given to inform and protect, not to frighten. Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
A bit rude, don't you think? But since this mediation was foretold, I will not dispute your findings.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
If the Provisioner's booked up, I say redeploy another egghead at the matter.
It's less of an issue of personnel as it is of safety. Contrary to your assumptions, we do care about your collective and individual well-being.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd. And I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. Unproductive is one thing. Paid Donnybrooks with surrogate fighters is... well, I'm at a loss for an applicative metaphor to describe it. I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah. Someone should get right on that, huh? Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
Do you find this concession acceptable?
I'm not convinced. Resources are one thing. We still need the exclusion zone.
Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure. More of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established order construction guidelines. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands. Well, if this is the fate that was augured, then I will not complain, though it goes against my very nature. Please, be safe. That's all I ask.
Not to worry, Administrant. The exclusion zone is our problem now. Here. You stay out of trouble. We'll try and do the same.
Yes. Just hope we've done the right thing.
Thanks again, stranger. The Order won't scare us off that easily.
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict...
Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore. We all have reasons to...
I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. Now that you mention it, you do seem to be of a genuine sickly disposition. Here, buy your own medicine. This one's mine. Besides, I'm guessing you need something stronger for whatever it is you've got. You have my gratitude, stranger.
you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Hey, wish. Between the invaders, order defecting, everything was spread back to the king.
Looking pretty good right about now.
Wasteland devoid of life? Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.